Well, welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Thank you for sticking with us. It's time now to review headlines of today's newspapers. And we're going to start with the newspaper of Record. That's this day on a Saturday.
Don't you just miss Steve right now?
Oh, I know.
Well, let's kick off there. The major headline reads, Security experts see window of stemming insecurity through community resistance. Counsel locals to stop being informants and providing logistics for bandits. Warns bandits may launch reprisal attack over their losses. Now, I mean, this is something that has been, after killing of 37 bandits in Zamfara, of course. Now, this is when we talk about insecurity, something that we continue to just ask the government to be a bit more, to take it a bit more seriously. We did see those medical students be returned last week, all 20 of them. They went to Abuja and they were received. But it just seems as if with every time we take one step forward, we're taking 10 steps back. And now, this warning coming from the council saying that the locals should stop being informants and providing logistics for bandits is in fact a very, it's needed. But then again, we also need to realize that these people feel that they are I'm not saying that what they're doing is right, but when you are scared of your attacker, or when you know that if you don't give your attacker certain information, they could kill you in that instance, what exactly is being done by the security forces to make sure that these people in these remote locations are taken care of and are safe? Adesua.
I mean, kudos to the community that stood up for itself and allegedly killed 37 bandits in Zamfara. These are people who are living under a significant insecurity crisis. Now, this is the issue we have. This is why people have asked for state police. This is why people are arming vigilante groups, because we're coming to community resistance, community policing itself or trying to protect itself due to failure on the part of our security apparatus. It is an absolute shame on our security service, on our police and on our army that communities are having to arm themselves and protect themselves due to a failure by the government. And we talk about this quite often, that our government needs to be proactive instead of reactive. Do not just solely react after the fact. Prevent these things from occurring. Where is our intelligence arm?
Yes.
We now have a new head of the DSS and a new head of the DIA, of the NIA. I hope what we come from that is better intelligence. Like you said, our SIM cards have NINs. Why are these things not being prevented? We should not just hold our security services to protecting during or after attack. It's also using intelligence to prevent these attacks.
Proactive, for sure.
And to prevent these attacks from occurring. It's a failure of governments that communities have to protect themselves, but also kudos to the communities that are doing that. And I think I very much like what you said about if you're living in fear, you might feel the need to it's coercive, it's coercive
cooperation.
Yes, coercive cooperation. So, I really like that you pointed that out.
All right, then let's go to our next story, just over the major story on the cover of this day, talking about One Love, Keep Us Together No More, as music icon Onyeka Onwenu is laid to rest. Oti Obi Alakija paid their last respects. The city of Lagos in itself was overwhelmed with grief and tribute as the remains of legendary musician Onyeka Onwenu were laid to rest yesterday. And she did say that she wanted a very private, a very, not larger than life, burial in one of her interviews before she passed. And I think that's exactly what her family wanted to do, to just respect her last wishes and make sure that, even though a lot of people couldn't attend, they could from their homes be able to just kind of give her last respects. Really, really sad. I think Onyeka Onwenu was definitely one of those musicians that we all listened to growing up. Such a beautiful woman, such an icon, and I just pray that her perfect soul rests in peace. Adesua.
Amen to that. And, I like that you were singing the song because it shows that legends never die.
Yes.
Her art, her music, her work, even her journalism will stay with us forever. Legends never die. And I think she left a mark on Nigeria, on Nigeria's history, on our culture, our art scenes. And she also left a mark as a journalist. I think it's such a beautiful life that she lived, to touch in so many different aspects the Nigerian life. It's absolutely beautiful, and I do appreciate that her wishes were honored. That her family buried her. That's the picture that we're seeing there in the window, and I think it's a beautiful thing to always honor our legends.
Yes. And then the story right above the masthead, NNPC begins search for private firms to operate, maintain Warri Kaduna refineries, sets aside $2 billion minimum average annual turnover for interested bidders.
Well, Shaitan, has a PH refinery come on air? Because if I remember correctly, I did come out and say August. It is now the 31st of August. Does not seem that PH refinery is on air now. This was something that was suggested by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar when he was running for president. It was a very unpopular suggestion. In fact, the current government was saying, how you want to sell off our national assets? Their assets are burdening you. They're not assets anymore. So you know what? It's probably better they sell it off because they're burdening our system. The NNPC is not functioning properly as a private company should. NNPC LLC, is it really private? But you know, when you have assets that are non-performing assets, such as these refineries, it is better that they are put in the hands of the private sector.
Definitely. And in the public note that they released on their official handle, the National Oil Company outlined the qualifications of the different companies interested in bidding for the contracts and stated that the move will ensure reliability and energy security for the country. Well, fingers crossed, we'll continue to watch and see when exactly these refineries will be working. But that brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you so much for watching. I am Shaitan Atigari.
And I am Adesu Agiwa Osage from our entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day.